Okay. So kicking things off, earlier this week it got announced that the Oscars are going to be putting in for a stunt category at the Oscars. So let me see if I got it here. So we have it here. The Oscars will finally introduce a best stunt category. It'll begin in 2027. Now, I know the Oscars have become less and less relevant each year, but I still think they're very prestigious awards. I do think it's kind of like an exciting celebratory time for movies. I mean, if you look at the ratings year to year, let me see if I can find that Oscar viewership ratings. I kind of blew my mind how many people watch the Oscars now compared to how much they did years ago. Let me see if I could. I saw it whenever it was. Okay, this is what it was. So this is how it's been. Okay, Oscar viewership ratings through the years. And my God, after the pandemic, people just stopped caring. People just did not want to show up anymore. And it's crazy to think in 2014, 43 million views, 37, 34, 32, 26, 20. It was just steadily declining. And it's been going down. And with this, the Oscars knowing, and it's still a big part to have, viewership there because they got money involved and things like that. And if no one's watching, then why are we spending time with this awards show, right? Especially if it's like 3 hours long. So because of this, there's been things the Oscars has been trying to do year to year to kind of re-get the audience to come back. One year they introduced a fan voted award. You guys remember this? It was a fan voted in award where the fans got to choose that year what was the best movie, and it was Zack Snyder's Justice League 1. They didn't get an actual Oscar for it. They just said, "Hey, we let people vote online," and a fan base that's accused for having a lot of bots sometimes, they happen to won that award. I don't know. Not to say they didn't deserve it. I do actually really like Zack Snyder's Justice League, but I was like, okay, that didn't feel like an Oscar thing. That felt like something MTV Movie Award does. Oscars, you're not an MTV Movie Award. Then they did one year the what was it called? The best blockbuster movie? Or it was something like that, which I was 50-50 on, but they got rid of it. Where it was basically going to be the way for them to give Oscars to like Marvel movies or Fast and Furious movies, basically movies that are bringing mainstream audiences, and they are hoping that could, but that got major backlash and they removed that category right away. Either way, one thing that people have been begging for is stunts. Recognize the stunt people, because there have been a crazy amount of stunts that have been done over the years, and the fact that they don't get awarded or shown recognition during the Oscars for that is criminal. Okay. Now it's finally happening. It is kind of wild that they're actually going to be doing it after Tom Cruise is ending his like Mission Impossible run. At least he says there could still be more Mission Impossible movies after this, but it's looking like this could maybe be the end. And Tom Cruise did like a whole hell of stunts for this movie, not even counting all the other movies where he dude, y'all just cheated Tom Cruise out of an Oscar there. And I saw some people even say, like, yeah, they would do this when Jackie Chan's no longer in his prime. And I'm like, dude, of course, Jackie Chan was doing the most craziest stunts. What Tom Cruise does now, I still think Jackie Chan was above. Jackie Chan was doing things I don't even think Tom Cruise would have attempted. And so it is kind of crazy. But okay, the my thought on this, because I'm happy and I love this for them and I'm not taking that away, but I'm gonna play devil's advocate for a second. I need you to dive into my mind. Okay, in fact, I'm gonna put on the cool glasses, and when I put these on, you're not allowed to cancel me or say I'm wrong. Those are the rules that came with the Minecraft glasses. I'm sorry if you didn't get any. Okay, I think one of the reasons, and at least in my opinion, why there was never a real award for this or even a sign to, like, give the stunt people. One is because how do you measure that? There's been so many stunts done in Hollywood where people die, people break their bones, people get paralyzed. Horrible, right? And can you imagine being the stunt actor who went paralyzed that year or died and you didn't win the award, right? And then how do you also measure whose stunt was crazier, right? Because like, oh, this guy definitely risked his life. This guy risked his life a little bit more. That's the kind of stuff where it was like kind of hard, because you can encourage someone to give a great performance in the same way you can encourage an athlete to, I think be really, fast in their sport, do a lot of points and whatnot. When you're doing stunts, you're encouraging life threatening things. And it's like, how do you award that kind of behavior and say, all right, who's going to give the most life threatening stunt this year? Is it you? You going to give up your life for this golden award? That's what I always felt. On the other hand, though, the way they describe the award, stunt design, I think will be a real key issue. And hopefully that's kind of where they really try to strive for, where it's not going to be so much of a like, oh, this guy almost died, so he definitely deserves the award for best stunt. It should be more of like the trick involved, right? Or just the way it was set up. That's what I'm going to be interested in, especially when they present it come the year 2027 or 28, whichever Oscar year that falls on. I really hope they showcase a good video about like this is what needed to be done for this stunt to be accomplished. And I was even watching Campia's thoughts on this, and he made a good point about, well, how much CGI or VFX involved could that take away from a stunt? If you have a guy rolling in a car where they do a car trick like Fast and Furious and they roll like that, if part of that stunt was like half CGI, does that qualify it, disqualify it? A lot of interesting angles. And that does make me very curious about how they'll go about awarding it. And we're talking about people like Tom Cruise or Jackie Chan, but the main people who are going to be winning this award are people you don't know, are names you've never heard of, and it's going to be someone like Rocky Stanaki. He's done stunt work for Tom Cruise. Will Smith. It's going to be unheard of people, and um, is that going to be that exciting? Or like if random guy whose name you never heard of, but then Tom Cruise is in the category, who's going to be better for the show in terms of presentation? Be like, well, no one knows this guy, but if we put Tom Cruise on there, we might get that viewership number. So it's interesting stuff to talk about. Oh yeah. Oh, hey, Jonathan, you're in here, buddy. You didn't have to watch me, dude. Jonathan is in here, guys. Please, if you don't know his channel, which I'm trying to remember the name of it right now. I think it's called Film Drunk, right? Film Drunk? Is it Film Drunk, or am I thinking? It is Film Drunk. Go check out him. He's got great reviews, really nice stuff. A lot more in detailed and higher opinions than me. I'll give you a nice say about why the Minecraft fart joke was good. He'll actually tell you why movies like Warfare are worth watching, and Mickey 17. Definitely give this man a watch. Give this man a watch. Thank you for being here, buddy. But oh yeah, dude, like and even Keanu Reeves has done a lot of work in those movies too. How do you differentiate the stunt work he does and then the other stunt work that other performers do as well? So it's just an interesting category. I'm glad that it's getting that, and it makes me also wonder what other categories are going to be added on into the Oscars as this continues on, because they're just going to continue trying to get more viewer attention, this and that. I think they're still trying to figure out, how do we get the mainstream audience, how do we somehow involve the Minecraft movie and films like Marvel into the Oscars, not maybe necessarily give them awards, but they're thinking about it, man, because some of that translate to, and if you can get those chicken jockey kids to tune in to the Oscars, hey, that's good viewership for them. But I'd wonder how they do it. I'd wonder how they do it. So you guys let me know what y'all think about that. And yes, right there, Jonathan, getting a subscriber. All right. I get 10% of those ad revenues from him watching you, buddy. Hope you're listening. All right, let's continue on now. So, you guys let me know what you think about that, and what other categories that they have not really implemented that they should. I would honestly love a category, and I know I'm not even kidding, a marketing category, an Oscar marketing category. I don't know. I've just always been fascinating with marketing, and I think if you can show an award for like really, how do I say it? Getting your movie shown to the audience and having some creative marketing that can implement something. It's something to think about there. Like I think about movies like Barbie, who had a really great marketing campaign, the Barbenheimer situation, but that's also just kind of just brought up. Can you really point the Barbenheimer to some guy in a room and be like, he came up with that? He did that. Uh, so not agreeing with that. Someone saying, nah, that's a lame ass. I think marketing is cool. I don't know. Best voice acting category, that would be good. That would be good. And you add some more prestige. But man, we're just gonna be adding that into a category of people of Chris Pratt's, and I don't know. He did really good as Mario. His plumber voice, convincing, convincing. Let me see some of the other possible categories you guys are at. To the best aura. I hate all of y'all. No one's giving me a serious answer. The best aura. Let's see here. We got horror category. I mean, I wouldn't mind that, especially because doesn't like the Golden Globes have like a musical comedy drama category where it's like three different genres in one category, right? That's what the Golden Globes have is like best comedy musical. And you're like, couldn't that be like two different things? Why is that a thing? A horror category, honestly, yeah. Because they don't seem to want to give the category there's a lot of Oscar missing out on. Like, I still think Naomi Scott from Smile 2, she deserved some recognition for her performance, but because it's a smile movie, it's a genre horror movie, it's like it's kind of ridiculous. And I mean, even performances like in Get Out, not Get Out, Us with I'm forget Lupita Nyong'o, like that's a worthy performance there, but it gets overlooked. And maybe just dedicating a horror category would be nice, but I don't know. Maybe then again, it'd be kind of just like letting them at the table when they feel they don't need to. Let's see here. Who else? Best motion capture. I don't think you'd get enough every year for that. Maybe mocap. Oh, okay. I see what you mean. I was thinking more of the VFX, but the performance through mocap. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that, but it would be in the thing of how much of the VFX is helping with that performance and how much of it is natural in the actor, right? Because you can do this kind of face, you go, oh, oh no, like the monkey from what was it, Planet of the Apes? How much of that raised his eyebrows 10%, you know? Practice that's just a dying category, unfortunately, in Hollywood. Alien Romulus would have won that though. Alien Romulus would have won that. I don't know. Interesting stuff. Love you guys putting your input on that. So let's move on forward.